What is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
All right. It's Friday night. It is Radio Baloney Live. I am your host, Richie Baloney. I hope everybody had a good week. Lots of crazy stuff going on. As always, we've got a ton of stuff to get to tonight. Looks like we got Radio Streamer in the chat already. Oh, he got the first like, too. That's good. That means that he got double good karma. Double. Can you believe it? We got JJ Nevada in the chat. Good to see ya. Oh, he's conceding the first like. He's conceding the first like. That's good sportsmanship. Actually, you know what? Maybe they've got it. Yeah, it's saying maybe they got it the like at the same time. That would be double karma. double good karma. Wow. All right. So what are we going to talk about tonight, everybody? We're getting close to the election, right? I'm getting anxious. I'm getting extremely anxious. And especially because we're going to have a big election night stream as well. So it's with special guests. It's going to be very fun. But what are we going to talk about tonight as we move forward towards that fateful day? Well, we're going to obviously take a look at a bunch of clips from the JD Vance, Joe Rogan interview. I've watched some of it, but we've got a bunch of clips here. We'll take a look at that. I haven't seen what's in all of the clips, so I'll be watching some of those with you for the first time. Some of this I have seen. We're going to talk about Justin Trudeau's brother. Justin Trudeau's brother by the same mother. Let's make Canada prosperous again. Trudeau's brother believes Trump is genuine. Says government workers should quit. So that is Justin Trudeau's half-brother. And he is not like Justin Trudeau at all. He's a good man, unlike Justin Trudeau. Hey, Rosie, how you doing? I've got some of the stuff you sent me, Rosie. We'll be taking a look at it tonight. No worries. And I think it was an interesting point that you made about maybe put something up, like maybe in all caps or something, if you guys are just going to talk about the weather for 10 minutes so that I don't need so I know I don't need to read it or something. I don't know, whatever. I mean, just do what you're going to do. I'm happy either way, but maybe that's an idea. I don't know. Let's see what happens. All right. So we'll talk about that. We're also going to talk about, what have we got here? We're going to take a look at some allegations of funny things happening. The election. Here we have something in Arizona with ballot harvesting. We'll take a little look at that. That's something that we'll be keeping track of on the election night stream. We'll have breaking news for that as we go through the night. So it'll be very interesting. We're going to talk about Kamala, obviously. We're going to go through, well, here is some more suspicious stuff. In fact, I'm putting it all together here. A bunch of suspicious stuff going on before the election. Probably want to keep an eye on that. There's Justin Trudeau's brother again. We're going to talk about him. We're going to talk, obviously, we're going to talk about the Trump on Liz Cheney, the Trump Liz Cheney thing. That's the most ridiculous thing of all. I mean, I've seen the clips. I mean, they just keep doing it over and over and over again. They take him out of context in a clip for like 3 seconds and then just assume that nobody's going to look for the whole clip. It's bizarre. Like you can save yourself $500,000 from the Columbia School of Journalism just by going, oh, that doesn't sound right. Let me look at the full clip. And then you're literally a better journalist than it appears to be 99% of people working in the news. Quite amazing. All right. You know what? I want to play the Trump collage again. I'm probably going to play this. I spent like 3 hours putting together some new stuff for the election stream on Tuesday. This is one of the things I did last night. And I've got more. The purpose of that is to do something so ridiculous and hilarious that it will make communists lose their minds. It will make communists completely lose their minds. Because they hate fun. And the thing is, they won't even realize it's intentionally trying to provoke them, which is the funnest thing of all. Hey, Much Joy, how you doing? Good to see you from Ontario. Wow. Let's see. And I've got more of that as well. But let's continue. So we got a little thing on the WEF here. They're very determined to get you to not own your own car and to have to share cars with people, which I think is a terrible idea. Because I would hate that, and I would hate people being able to use my car. No, I want my car right fucking now, right when I want it. I don't want to share my car with anybody. I don't want their smells in my car. I don't want to go in a car with anybody else's smell in it. I don't trust other people. I don't trust them with my car. Not interested in this. Not interested in this at all. No, WEF. No, we don't want it. We don't want your garbage.
No offense, but it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
Commie gobbledygook, indeed. 100%. We'll talk about that. We're going to talk, well, here's from Elon Musk, genius level trolling. We'll talk about all this, the garbage truck thing. Brilliant. Brilliant. Oh, it's so good. We are going to talk about a cover-up in the UK. This is going to be a long one tonight, folks. Real long. It's a cover-up in the UK where there was a horrible incident where some children were stabbed. And the government, and there were riots about it, the government insisted, no, this was just an everyday Welshman that did it. Turns out they were covering it up. Turns out the guy had been going through all kinds of ISIS stuff, trying to make ricin. Yeah. It turns out the government in the UK hates its own people. People were put in jail, by the way, for things they said on the internet about it. It turns out they were lying the whole time. How about that? I don't find it really that surprising. We might get into some of this. I don't want to do too much Canadian stuff because it's all happening in the States right now. And once the U.S. election is over, I can do a lot more Canadian stuff. Well, maybe we'll get into this. See how we're doing for time. Again, some more Canadian stuff. I think we will do this. It's fairly short. I think it should be fun. Anna Kasparian, what's going on? Seems like they've alienated the leftists, the progressives, the far leftists, the commies, the dirty, filthy commies have alienated yet another one of their own, and a Kasparian. I'm glad to see it. Let's see. Of course, we have our muses for when the news gets a little heavy and we need a bit of a break. We can look at this instructional thing on how to fix a knife handle. And that is all that this video is about. It is about absolutely nothing else whatsoever. And of course, we have nature scenes, which is very nice. And sports, just stuff, the palate cleansers, sanding. I know a lot of people out there enjoy sanding. Just palate cleansers. For when the news gets a little bit heavy. And of course, we have our main muses here. Of course, Sandwich Girl. And this is just about making sandwiches. It's a cooking show. And then, of course, this cooking show as well, which I find it's the most mesmerizing, hypnotic cooking show of them all. Of course, we have the puppy. We have the puppy palate cleanser as well. It's also a nice palate cleanser when the news gets too heavy. Of course, it's Friday night, and that means Grok versus Trudeau edition. I don't know, 8 million by this point. I've sworn an oath that every Friday until Justin Trudeau is no longer in office, I will be getting Grok, which is the Twitter, now X, AI, to write a poem about Justin Trudeau. There are 3 things that must be in this poem. Every time. And it actually kind of makes it hard for me to keep coming up with new stuff, I got to be honest, but them's the rules. Justin Trudeau has to do blackface. He has to get a vaginoplasty surgery. And at the end, he has to be loaded into a giant cannon and then launched into the sun by popular request. So we'll get into that at some point. And of course, maybe we'll start out with this. We're going to look at the polls. We're going to see what's happening. It's all very interesting. Maybe we'll even play around with the 270 to win electoral college map as well. We could do that. Let me take a look at the chat. Looks like people are showing up. Let's see. Rosie saying, awesome AI collage with music. I know. It's designed to intentionally drive lefties and commies crazy. That's the point of it. That's why I find it so hilarious. Let's see. Rosie says, that assumes the commies are sane and have a mind to lose. A mind to lose. Yeah, that's an excellent point there, Rosie. Excellent point. We got the ventilator in the chat. Good to see ya. He's saying Patrick Byrne has inside sources that say Harris campaign is picking out curtains. They are sure to win. Well, I keep saying that when we look at these polling aggregates, this doesn't count shadow campaigns, and it doesn't count election fortification. So my personal feeling is that the whole thing is just making it too big, like, beat the cheat essentially. But who knows? I mean, there's good reason for anxiety, because I really do think that if Kamala wins, that's a pivotal point for the world, not just the United States, the entire world, and a very negative one. That could be one of those hinge points in history that historians hundreds of years from now look at and go, oh man, that's a shame. It's a shame that happened. It's a shame that that guy with the German guy with the funny mustache didn't get accepted to that art college. It would have saved everybody a lot of trouble. That kind of thing. Like World War III kind of thing. Maybe that's something we're going to have to look into. Patrick Byrne. Should we do a quick fact check? Let's do a quick fact check. Where is it? Fact check. Patrick Byrne. Harris campaign curtains. Let's see. I don't know who Patrick Byrne is. Let's see. Not seeing anything about a Patrick Byrne here. What is that? Is that on Twitter? Is it on Twitter? Let me check Twitter. Hold on. I'll be right there, you guys. Hold on one sec. Patrick Burns. All right. No. This isn't the guy. Hold on. Let me see if I can. What are you guys saying? On X. Okay, I'm looking on X. Well, there's a Patrick Burns with some he-hims going on here. That's not the right guy. Let's see. I don't think this is the guy. All right. Patrick Byrne. Yeah, I don't know, you guys. Let's see. Patrick. Oh, okay. There we go. Thank you, ventilator. Okay, this sounds like the right guy. The enemy within. This sounds like the right guy. Advocates constitutional republicanism for government, blockchain for institutions, and educational choice for human capital. All right. Let's see. What does this say? Who the hell, from Nick Sorter here, who the hell thought it was a good idea to wheel Cardi B out and give her a mic to endorse Kamala Harris? They should be fired. Well, let's see. What does she say?
I believe in every word that comes out of her mouth. She's passionate, she's compassionate, she shows empathy, and most of all, she is not delusional. Yeah. Kamala recognized that this country is at risk, that the economy needs to get stronger, that the cost of food and the cost of living is too high. Damn, it's even high for me.
Yeah, I wonder how it got like that. Better just keep doing the exact same thing, I guess. That will fix it.
Believe her when she says, under her, buying eggs and milk won't break the bank. Because she's going to pass a ban on price gouging on groceries. And she told me that in my face.
So incredibly stupid. 4% margin for a grocery store is an extremely good year. It's usually more something like 1.5% to maybe 3%. And when they have that really good year, that's maybe like 3.5% margin, maybe 4%, they have to put that money away because pricing is unpredictable. They have to actually do contracts well in advance and kind of flip the coin, take a bit of a risk on what things are going to cost in the future. They kind of need that money so they can, not only just keep operating if there's a bad year, but to keep investing, like buy light bulbs for the grocery store, stuff like that. It's just the most idiotic nonsense. And of course, they trot out an idiot to speak this drivel. Typically, I don't know how many people Cardi B is going to convince. I got to be honest. But I don't feel like it's many. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to follow this guy. Followed, Patrick Byrne. You have been followed by Radio Baloney. Congratulations. Let's see. All right. I'm trying to find this story you guys are talking about. Some of this stuff we're already going to be talking about tonight. All right. Hold on, you guys. Let's see. This looks like it here. Let's see. Bad news. Harris Obama privately smirking, 100% confident in victory. Quote, don't believe the polls or what you read. Election already in the bag. Harris transition team, 100% staffed with Obama staff. Republic being overthrown. Our one chance equals overwhelm rigged machines. Well, it does appear, and we'll see that when we get to some of these issues that have come up so far, that we'll be looking at tonight, that they do seem to be, the Trump team, the Trump lawyers do seem to be on top of things right now. Now, we'll see what happens in the courts, but, there's already the one victory with the 1,600 people that ineligible to vote taken off the voter rolls. So there's already the one victory, but I feel like there's going to be a lot. All right, so I think that covers what we were talking about there. There is your first fact check of the evening, folks. Let's get back here because I think we'll take a look at the polls, but let me go through the chat first. We'll get to the rest of it. Let's see. Nevada says, Vent, they must have one hell of a plan to cheat. Well, I mean, they have the experience from 2020, and I'm sure they've been thinking up new stuff. So, I mean, Gavin Newsom banned voter ID across California. All of it. You're not allowed to ask for ID anywhere in California in any election now. Now, of course, that's not going to affect the electoral college vote, but it will affect that could affect the popular vote. And popular vote is important. It's really important that Trump wins the popular vote this time. It's extremely important. Because then you can use the word mandate at that point. Let's see. Nevada says, let's hope it's just false confidence. Well, maybe the margin will be too big for the cheat. So maybe it's false confidence in that sense. Rosie says, wonder if the muses know they are so prevalently featured. I'm guessing no. I'm guessing that's a hard no. But I'm sure they would be deeply flattered. Let's see. Radio Streamer says, the question is, do they have the balls to do something that may start a civil war? Yeah, I think they do. Nevada says, nothing like a True Gina poem on a Friday night. I know. Every Friday. I can't wait. This is one of the many reasons why I can't wait for Justin Trudeau to just resign or to be kicked out, whatever, for his own party to kick him out, which is not actually even really possible at this point. But one of the many reasons why I just want him out is so I can stop doing these goddamn Grok versus Trudeaus. Every Friday, I've got to come up with some new scenario where Justin Trudeau does blackface, gets a vaginoplasty surgery, and then is loaded into a giant cannon and shot into the sun. It ain't easy, folks. Anyway, we'll get to that, and I think we'll all enjoy it. It's a good one tonight. Let's see. Radio Streamer says, even if they don't, they will still just burn down cities with Antifa. Current thing, foot soldiers. Last thing, it was BLM. This time, it would be Free Palestine. This time, definitely they're going to be a big part of it. I mean, a lot of those dingbats, those useful idiots. It doesn't even matter what they don't even care about Palestine. They're on the steps of they're marching around Toronto, Montreal. They're on the steps of the Vancouver Art Gallery, burning the Canadian flag, saying "Death to Canada, death to the U.S., death to Israel. Canada's a colonial, blah blah blah, whatever. 85 different genocides every second." They don't even give a shit. They just co-opt whatever current thing is and jump on that as long as it's destructive to society. That's all they seem to care about. But yeah, they'll be out for sure. And I'm sure they'll resurrect BLM. And of course, the commies, Antifa, and the various commies will be out as well. Let's see. Nevada said, my neighbor told me today that our government is getting the guard ready for election day. That's probably a really good idea. Much Joyce says, yeah, we are all screwed if that woman wins. That woman being Kamala, cackling Kamala, cackling Kamala.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
No. No, I do not. And that reminds me, I've got another thing that we'll be using on election night. It is the Kamala fraud button. Hold on. How about that? How about that? Should we do the Trump thing one more time? I'm so in love with this. God, I love that. God, I love that. Specially designed to drive commies crazy, to make them lose their minds. And I think it'll work. If any actually come on and see it, we do get the occasional one on. We get the occasional troll in here. Vada says, my governor won't play those games. Good. Yeah, Patrick Byrne. So he's subscribed now, folks. So you know what? This is why I love the chat. This is why I love the relationship I have with the chat, with the role of the chat in this thing, because I actually learned from you guys. I get new stuff. So now I'm subscribed to that guy. So now here's more information for me, which is good. Let's see. Streamer says they all have that same empty-headed delivery with smugness. The communists, yep. Nevada says communist price controls. Communist price controls. So stupid. So incredibly stupid. Let's see. You know, like, there's really no part of communism that's worked out at all. There's not even like one part of it you can say, well, that was good. Right? Like, you can't even say like, well, you know, Cuba has universal health care. It's like, yeah, the thing is, if you show up to the doctor, they're going to tell you, sorry, we're all out. We're all out of the universal health care. We'll give you a call when we get some in. But spoiler alert, we're never getting any in. Like, there's not one part of communism. There's never been any kind of anything even remotely close to like a democracy that the modern left, the progressives are constantly harping on about Trump as a threat to. Let's see. They all have that same empty-headed delivery with smugness. Yeah, that's the Cardi B you're talking about there. Rosie says, pretty sad when one of your biggest selling points promoting your followers is that she is not delusional. She's not delusional. She is, though. That's the thing. You know what? She's not even that. She's just empty. She's just empty. She's just utterly unremarkable in every single way. Nevada says, all bogus votes always go to Democrats. You know, if there was one done by a Republican, one case of a Republican being behind it, it would be on the news every day for the next 1,000 years, all day long. That's how you know that it's always Democrats. And there have been people thrown in prison since 2020. Let's see. G Flood. Hey, G Flood, how you doing? Good to see you. Says California has a lot of electoral votes. They certainly do. And again, like if you want to try and give an advantage for the popular vote, you know, not the electoral college, but cheating for the popular vote, because popular vote does matter. It's something that's harped about every single election. And if Trump gets the popular vote, again, you can start to use the word mandate at that point. Rosie says, hard to decide whether to watch the Trump video or dance to the music. Yeah. All right. So let's get into these. Let's update this. I doubt there'll be any changes at this hour. So the national popular vote, Trump up by 0.3. So it's been hanging around there. So, I mean, here we had back in October 4th, or August 4th, Harris takes the lead, and she just stays ahead, never by that much, 2 point something at the most. And then just after she started getting out in public and talking to people, didn't go well. And then it started to be a bit of a problem. And then we've seen it flipped here on the 25th, and it hasn't gone back. It went up to 2, went up to 4, but then 0.3 again. Of course, this is all margin of error stuff. Like the 0.3 is still margin of error. But it's very, very encouraging when you consider that this RCP average was off by about a point in 2020, biased towards Biden. And hold on one second. Let me pause it. Okay, sorry. So here we have 538, which is no longer run by Nate Silver. So this one as well has been going down, right? So you had her up like 3.5 here, going back to August 30th. Slowly gone down, all the way down now to 1.2 lead for Harris. The important thing to consider with this is that they were over 4 points off in favor of Biden in 2020. Also, too, they were biased towards the Democrats in 2016. So you have to consider that with this poll. I know they took Rasmussen off here, I think because they were too accurate. Why would they do that? Maybe they didn't like Rasmussen's numbers, right? But they got at 1.2. That should not give Harris any confidence whatsoever. That should worry her a lot. Now, I don't know what's really going on behind the scenes there, if they're picking the curtains or what, but this should be very concerning because you're starting to get past the kind of ability to cheat at that point. Now, if we take a look at the top battlegrounds, the swing states, Trump has a +1 lead across them. He had all 7, but small leads across all 7. Now Harris has taken, 0.3, again, that's margin of error stuff, 0.8 margin of error stuff for Michigan and for Wisconsin. But Trump has strengthened in Georgia, in Arizona. In Nevada, I think he's strengthened as well, North Carolina. So these ones feel like they're really solidifying. Again, if we saw the same kind of error in the polls from 2020, this +3 disappeared, that +8 disappears real quick. I think she would have to be up by 4 or 5 to start to feel comfortable in any of them, I think. All right. One thing that I've noticed is that, let's refresh this one. So we got the poly market. That's actually come down. Trump was up at like around 66, and she was at about 33. Now it's at 58.5, 41.4. Why is this? I don't know. Is it the Puerto Rico thing? Is it this new hoax, the Liz Cheney firing squad hoax? I don't know. The market still feels very strong, quite strongly that Trump is going to win the election, but it's interesting. Hey, this isn't polling. This is people putting their money down, but people putting their money down on something does mean something as well, because it's money. It ain't just talk. So let's take a look. Again, right now, 219 Republicans, Democrats 226. Let's take a look back here at the swing states. So Pennsylvania, 0.4 lead. It's very slim, unless there's big errors like there was in the polling, like there was in 2020, 2016. Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia. Georgia's looking a lot better. North Carolina is looking better than Pennsylvania. Those three, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, boom, 270. That's a win. He just needs those three. Kamala can get the other four. What happens if he doesn't get Pennsylvania? What happens if that goes to Kamala? Well, let's take a look again. So let's say he gets Nevada. Let's give him Nevada and Arizona now. So let's go Nevada, Arizona. That's 268. So he would still need either Wisconsin or Michigan. Let's turn those blue. Then it's Kamala. So what happens behind the scenes with the voting? What happens around hijinks around the voting in those swing states? There's going to be lots of it. It's a big deal. Again, I'm getting nervous. I'm getting nervous for the planet, for the sake of the planet. But I guess we'll find out. All right. Before we get to the JD Vance Joe Rogan interview, I just want to do a little Canadian thing here, because this is interesting. It's tied into the states as well in the election. Let's take a quick look at the chat again before we get into this. What are we, 38 minutes in already? Just a reminder for anybody watching on YouTube, we're going to give it another 20 minutes, and then we will shut off the YouTube part of the stream, and we will continue on, as we are right now, on Rumble, because, censorship problems and stuff. So heads up on that. Hey, we got Canna Monkey in the chat. Good to see ya. Let's see. Canna Monkey says, hey, Rosie, no mentioning the software. I'm not going to say the word. Not going to say it. Got to save my rants for more appropriate things. Streamer says the garbage truck was genius. Yep. It was hilarious. It was perfect. Served up on a silver platter, and you knew Trump was going to take advantage of it. G Flood says Trump can't get the popular vote. Trump can't get the popular vote. He's not popular with illegal aliens. Well, that's an excellent point there. Excellent point. Nevada says, how could it possibly be this close? It's this close because, the polls are saying it's that close because there's a giant machine that Kamala has at her. Well, I should say she's at the machine's disposal. Let's say she's a puppet. She's just she's just a mask, right? She's a skin suit for the machine. So there's a giant machine whose benefits are not available and whose power is not available to Trump. So Trump is fighting this machine, this giant narrative machine, this manufacturing consent machine. That's why it's an enormous amount of power. When you've got almost all of big tech, you've got almost all of corporate media, right? You got academia, every institution. That there's enormous power in that, and it's just we're waiting to see if you can fool enough of the people enough of the time. That's the cynical play that the machine is making. Let's see. Streamer says North Carolina should be a lock for Trump, but there is a reason for the shitstorm response. They want the intact blue cities to steal the state. I put nothing. I'd say there's nothing that they won't do. See, Rosie says, thank you for explaining Polymarket. The brilliant left keeps saying the right is stupid for using Polymarket poll since it is a fake poll. Everybody I see using it says this is not a poll, but it's also not totally insignificant either. It tracks public sentiment, which is not totally irrelevant. And the thing is, they're utter hypocrites. The modern left has just become utterly hypocritical. And I'm sure when it favored Kamala, they were all over that. And they weren't saying, oh, this isn't a poll. You know, they weren't saying the same things at that point. JG Nawada says, YouTube sucks. It sure does. Although, you know, weirdly, this month, for some reason, they've lifted at least some of the kind of quarantine on my channel. It seems like I'm going to get almost as many views on YouTube as they do on Rumble this month, which has not happened for like since maybe March when they turned the tap off for my channel when they put me in quarantine. So it's weird the month before the election. Maybe they're a bit worried that Trump wins and like because of course there's not like a dedicated Radio Baloney censor at YouTube. It's just all algorithmic, right? So I wonder if there's a bunch of other channels that have suddenly seen views, you know, quadruple or something, double or something like that just this month. I know that there's lots of interest right now because of the election, but it's not that. It's like a tap goes on and a tap goes off when you're talking about impressions for your thumbnails, people seeing your thumbnail. All right, let's continue. Rosie says the garbage trucks were highly entertaining. Yep. Yeah, it was. I mean, that was just served up to him on a silver platter. It's perfect. Rosie says they had to start importing worldwide illegal aliens when they realized the Hispanic ones are in favor of family and not abortion. Yeah, I mean, they still have an advantage in that demographic, but it's not what they were thinking, I believe. I think they still do, don't they? All right. Anyway, let's get on to this story. Then we're going to get to the JD Vance interview with Joe Rogan. But let's do this one real quick. Let's make Canada prosperous again. Trudeau's brother believes Trump is still genuine, says government workers should quit. Government workers should quit. So that is Justin Trudeau's half-brother, Kyle Kemper. And he is not Justin Trudeau. Let's see what he has to say. In a widely read post on X, Kyle Kemper gave a ringing endorsement of former President Donald Trump's re-election, whom he said is genuine. Kemper, the half-brother of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, said it is time to exploit the economic opportunities that Trump could offer if he wins on November 5th and to make Canada prosperous again. The best thing that could happen for Canada is that Trump wins, and then the next election in Canada, October next year, the latest, Pierre Poilievre wins, and then we have two friendly governments that are willing to help each other, that have the capacity to, you know, to arrange some kind of positive sum result. their relations. Not be like, not have, like, Pierre Poilievre will not have, like the finance minister go down to the States and start shit talking them like Chrystia Freeland did during free trade negotiations. Of all times, the stupidity. Canada just got locked out after. The U.S. and Mexico just decided everything between each other after that. Just like, oh no, we can't take these people seriously. I mean, if you couldn't already, you're not going to take Canada seriously if it's run by Justin Trudeau. But then you have somebody as stupid as Chrystia Freeland run down there and start bad mouthing the president at that crucial time. Unbelievable stupidity. So nothing like that will happen with a conservative Canadian government and a Trump administration. So obviously you're going to get started off on a much better foot, and there's going to be room for, real negotiations in good faith. I mentioned that I hate Trudeau, right? Did I mention that? All right. The businessman who was working for Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s presidential campaign, liking this guy more and more, has been highly critical of his half-brother's economic and COVID policies. Kemper also suggested that Canadian government employees find other work. Well, he expanded the public sector by Justin Trudeau, by 40%. That's just vote buying, by the way. That's not necessary jobs. That's just vote buying. Some of that's going to have to happen. Canada has an enormous debt. We're at this point, I believe we're paying more servicing the national debt than we do for healthcare in Canada. That's a problem. He said that Trump is a genuine person and someone who wants to leave a good legacy. Yeah, like at not starting World War III. That's a good start, right? I'm in favor of that. But more than that, Kemper sees Trump as a lightning rod for change. Quote, in a nutshell, a Trump presidency is going to mean a shift in the vibration of Canada. It's going to open up the opportunity for government innovation within Canada, likely massive tax reform in Canada, all of which is badly needed. Kemper noted how Trump has mused about eliminating income tax in favor of tariffs for collecting the bulk of government revenue, and the libertarian thinks that's an idea that could migrate to Canada and attract many who left because of high taxation to come back to their homeland. So he's the anti-Trudeau. It's so weird. This is like a movie or something, right? It's so strange. It's like these two brothers, or it's like Abel and Cain or something. It's like two diametrically opposed. There's one good, there's one bad. There's like the good brother and the evil brother, like the good prince and the evil prince, with Justin Trudeau always being the evil, whatever it is, the evil prince or the evil prime minister or the evil part-time drama teacher or the evil snowboard instructor, just whatever. I'm at this point, I don't believe he's capable of doing anything and not doing it in an evil manner. Let's take a look at something real quick. Where is the thing I was looking for? Was it in here? Hold on. No, apparently not. Is it in here? No. No, it's not. Was it in here? No. Was it in here? Why do I lose everything every time? Oh, there we go. Kyle Kemper, Justin Trudeau's half-brother. Now, they have the same mother. So his father is not also a Fidel Castro, like Justin Trudeau. Let's hear what he has to say.
So what does a Trump presidency mean for Canada? In a nutshell, it's going to mean a shift in the vibration of Canada. It's going to open up the opportunity for government innovation within Canada, likely massive tax reform in Canada. The media is going to have a knipshit in Canada, and they're going to get exposed. And I think, like, you know, as rightly they need to be. The business sector in Canada recognizes how big American business is. Like, they're going to scare you over the next little bit into thinking that it's all doom and fucking gloom. Guess what, guys? It's not. It's not. If this one thing, Trump on the Rogan Experience and another thing said that he's open to getting rid of income tax. That is something that, oh my gosh, if that happens, it is going to unlock so much wealth. All of a sudden, the need for offshore accounts, Swiss bank accounts, and funny money managing to reduce your tax exposure changes. I know so many Canadians that left Canada after becoming successful because the tax regime is just crazy. In Canada, it's not a good environment to operate in. So you go where you kind of retain your wealth. But what happens then is all that wealth leaves Canada. So if you fix that tax system, all that money is going to come back to Canada. And guess what? That money is going to get spent in Canada. Buildings, infrastructure, technology, community. Let's go, guys. This golden age cometh, it dawneth. And
well, maybe one day, but it's not going to happen soon. I'm very sad to say, but I like the way this guy's a lot better than Justin Trudeau, isn't he? Like 1,000 times better than Justin Trudeau.
That I will say that will not happen underneath the Kamala presidency. Like that. No. She is just another cabal spokesperson. Donald Trump, I really believe in my gut, heart, crown, that he's a genuine person and he wants to leave a good legacy. And he knows that the first time around he was trapped by some, shitty neocons that circled in around him, but not going to make the same mistake twice. And there's an opportunity now, dream teams coming together. COVID helped identify the dream team based on who, the Matrix pushed out. And look, guess what? They're all coming together. And guess what? People like authenticity. They like openness. They like just, people speaking freely. Let's go. That's what comes to Canada. So policies in America will come up into Canada. This corporate government in Canada.
Well, that would be great. Everything he just described would be fantastic. We shall have to see. Let's take a look at some. So here's his Twitter account, Cal Kemper. And there he's got Trump 2024, Take America Back. Got Bitcoin all over his Tesla truck there. He looks a bit like Viva Fry, a little bit in that picture anyway. So there he is. He kind of seems like kind of a hippie guy, really. He's like some sort of hippie libertarian, right? Way rather have him as Prime Minister of Canada already, just from seeing this. I mean, it can't get any worse than Justin, right? And again, I think that something happened, and like he got the good genes, and then Justin Trudeau got the evil genes. Now, they have a different fathers, right? So his father definitely isn't Fidel Castro. Let's see. What's this? Let's make America heroic again. This was the first time Cancel Cloco and I met, and thank goodness Bobby Bailey was there to capture this magic and then create this masterpiece out of it. Together we will rise up. Make America healthy again. Make America happy again. Make America human again. Make America great again. It's time we stand together. It's time we rescue the Republic. So, okay, we're not going to watch that right now. He says, a star is born. Oh, God. What was this? Was this the... Okay, hold on.
Dr. Fauci, give us vaccines. Help all the people who have been quarantined. We'll wear our masks and we'll have to stay distant. We'll wash our hands and we'll be more resistant.
Oh, Jesus. Jesus.
And that's nothing but pure and simple old-fashioned communism.
That's what commie ideas do to people. That's what woke ideas do to men. This is tragic. This is tragic. This just every single important, influential person in this life has let him down. Hey guys, do you think this would be cool? Listen to this Fauci song. Do you think this will be cool? Yeah, sure. Sure. Yeah, go ahead. No, that'll be cool. Didn't anybody have the courage to tell him, look, you are never going to get laid for the rest of your life if you do this. Don't do this. You're going to look like the weakest, lamest person, the weakest, lamest man on the planet. This is deeply embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for you that you would even consider it. Do not do that. Nobody told him that, apparently. Oh, it's so deeply cringe, so deeply embarrassing. It's so deeply soy. Singing a song to Fauci, bring me vaccine. Oh, Jesus. It's painful. I'm groaning inside, just going, oh, God, that poor bastard. What did they do to him? Who did this to him? What kind of monster would do this to another human being? Good Lord, where are the responsible people in his life to tell him no, and take off that fucking mask as well? For one thing, you don't sing songs to other men. That's just right off the bat. Never mind Fauci, and never mind about begging him to bring you vaccines. Candle Monkey, $5. Oh my! You know what that gets? That gets the donation horn. And you get a pinned tweet as well. Every donation gets a pinned tweet. Of course. That's the way we do it here. But you gotta earn it. All right, let's continue. Anyway, that's just deeply disturbing. That got us a little off topic there, but what's going on here? Let's see. Royce White. Who's Royce White? Republican nominee. Okay. This is why LeBron James blocked me. I represent the real version of what he's trying to be. This is why the NBA blackballed me. In order to be an activist, you have to actually know what the fuck you're talking about. Posting hodgepodge videos of race bait is amateurish. So what's he saying here? What's the beginning of this?
See, they don't want young black men, especially young black athletes, to even talk about things at this depth. That's partly why the impulse and latent racism of the liberal-run mainstream media rejected that I would challenge the NBA on a political basis. And when I say political in that sense, I mean on policy. There's a certain thing that gets uncomfortable anytime the conversation gets this technical. Okay, but then don't call me crazy. All right, let's just say we don't want to go there. I can live with that. If everybody in this country decides on November 5th, we just don't want to go there. Fine, you get the government you deserve, and by God, you will. But if we want to get technical, the American people are getting hit over the head 3 times. They're getting taxed 3 times. And this all goes back to the post-World War II Democrat.
Seems like taxes are definitely a big issue with him. Let's see. Of course, he loves Ron Paul. He's a libertarian. I wouldn't call myself a libertarian. I'm sympathetic to a lot of libertarianism, though. Let's see. What does this say? Breaking. Ron Paul says he would join Elon Musk to cut government waste in a second Trump administration. Elon says it would be great to have Ron Paul. That sounds like a good idea to me. All right. What's going on here? 20-foot bronze Trump statue incoming. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is more, this requires more effort than Trump AI pictures, Grok AI pictures. Good Lord. That's a thing of beauty. That is a thing of beauty. Can't wait to see it finished. Let's see. All right. So we're getting an idea of who Kyle Kemper is here. So let's get back to the story. So let's make Canada prosperous again. Trudeau's brother believes Trump is genuine, says government workers should quit. Says they should quit. Let's see. Where does he get to that part? Kemper noted how Trump has mused about eliminating income tax in favor of tariffs for collecting the bulk of government revenue, and the Libertarian thinks that's an idea that could migrate to Canada and attract many who left because of high taxation to come back to their homeland. Lifting the tax burdens means, quote, all that money is going to come back to Canada. But Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris offers a completely different scenario, as she is just another cabal spokesperson. That's just 100% true. Fact check true. Kemper even encouraged Canadian government workers, a body that Trudeau had expanded larger than any previous prime minister, to find real jobs. Real jobs. Yes, Trudeau expanded it. Again, it's vote buying. It's vote buying. He expanded the public sector, government jobs by 40%. That's just vote buying. What? Just to create new bureaucracies. Were these people needed? 40% increase? What, they were just all that the whole time? They were just like, oh, if we only had 40% more people to do more useless bureaucracies. It's vote buying, pure and simple. Quote, are you happy? Are you actually adding value? Is this what you want to do? Do you want to work for the government? There are so many other things you can do, he said. How can you celebrate the day that you quit working for the government? How can you celebrate the day that you quit working for the government? It must be depressing just working in some bureaucracy that's doing up. Maybe you're, maybe, half your life is geared around, subsidies for trans lesbian bus passes or something. Talk about a depressing life. All right. And now for my prepared remarks. So, all right. Cal Kemper. He is the awesome Trudeau. It's not actually a Trudeau, he's a Kemper, but you know what I mean. He is what Trudeau could have been, right? He's the opposite of that. It's like you look at Justin Trudeau and you go, it's two brothers who went completely opposite directions. Again, there's the evil brother and the good brother. Trudeau is obviously the evil brother, right? I don't even have to say that, right? You guys know that. So what is he like? Well, he's not a WEF person, doesn't like that. Doesn't call everyone he agrees with an ist or a phobe. So that's a major plus. Justin Trudeau is incapable of not doing that. Let's see, not an admirer of the CCP's basic dictatorship, as his brother Justin is, and as he's recorded on camera saying in context. Let's see, pro MAGA. Well, obviously that's great. Pro MAHA. So he's very pro. He was worked with RFK Jr. He's very pro Make America Healthy Again. Again, he's kind of like a little bit of a hippie, it seems like, but like the good kind, not the dirty, filthy kind, not the dirty, filthy commie kind. You know what we say about them?
You shall not pass!
But you know what, Cal Kemper, Justin Trudeau's half brother, he can pass because he's not a dirty, filthy commie, obviously. Let's see. So let's go through it. No WEF, doesn't call everyone he disagrees with an istrophobe, not an admirer of the CCP's basic dictatorship, as his brother is, pro MAGA, pro MAHA, anti-authoritarian, anti-mandate, anti-censorship. Those are all things that Justin loves. Those are his favorite things. I think they're bad to be for. I think it's good to be against those things. I wonder if in some way it kind of breaks Justin Trudeau's totalitarian heart, if he had one, right? That his brother is against everything that Trudeau loves. I don't know. What do I think? As far as I can tell, he looks like he might actually be trustworthy, this half-brother of Justin Trudeau, and also fun to be around. He seems kind of cool, unlike Justin Trudeau, who is a totalitarian dork. So I guess in short, we elected the wrong guy. We should have elected this guy. He's somebody I don't get the sense that he hates Canada the way that his brother does, the way that Justin Trudeau does. So, and then finally, we should have elected the guy whose father is not Fidel Castro. Boom. All right. So let's, I'm going to get rid of a couple of these tabs because we're done and we're going to move on. All right, let's get to the chat quick before we move on. Actually, let's see if I can do any ads. Nope. Nothing available. I don't know what the hell's going on. How long have we been going? An hour? Well, I think it's time that we bid adieu to YouTube. With regret, obviously, but censorship problems on YouTube. We only do the first hour, maybe hour and a half on YouTube, and then we continue on with Rumble. So we start out on both Rumble and YouTube, but we just do the first part of the show on YouTube, and then on a Friday night, we're probably going to do another 4 hours for sure on top of what we've already done. So if you're watching on YouTube, I implore you, or ask you politely, come over to Rumble. The water's great. There's an app for like your Roku, for your Apple TV, for your smart TV, for your Fire Stick, whatever. Or you can watch it on your TV. How easy is that? Join us over there. It'll take you 3 seconds, and then you can continue with the stream forever. Then you get to see Grok versus Trudeau and all the other fun stuff we've got, all the different palate cleansers, the cooking shows. I mean, have you seen the cooking shows? Have you seen it? Look at these cooking shows. Look at that. Noodles. You like noodles? Do you like sandwiches? Hold on. Let's see. Where is it? Oh, is it at the top? Hold on. I don't know why that happened. That's a find. There it is. Do you like sandwiches? You might like noodles, or you might be a sandwich man. Either way, I think you're going to be happy. But join us over on Rumble right now, and we'll keep going for hours and hours and hours. Next, we're going to be talking about Joe Rogan, the Joe Rogan JD Vance interview. That should have been Kamala, but she didn't want to show up. So it's JD Vance instead. We'll talk about that. Anyway, thank you. Otherwise, we will see you on Sunday. We're going to continue on with Rumble now. Goodbye, YouTube. Or some people call it Stalin Tube.